Did Blake Lively or even Taylor Swift just censor TMZ and wipe a positive Blake Lively article off the entire internet? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We're live. I'm with It's Kim. We're already doing this. Guys, I want to show you what Kim and I stumbled upon because this one was kind of wild. Now, Kim, earlier in the day, as she was just explaining to the audience, she creates what we call the headline doc. She's helping me prep sort of the story and the bullet points that are important so then I can go through it's all the other things we do here to like prep stories or alive for you. And she does a fantastic job. How long ago was it? A couple hours ago at this point, Kim, you made this?
I found this specific link, I believe around 2:30. That was
Eastern.
the time frame. Yes, the time frame that I have in my browser history that I've documented.
So this was, and then she copied and pasted the, relevant information from the article, which was that Blake Lively reacted to Travis and Jason Kelce, basically giving her some podcast love. Rewinding a little bit, we're going to talk about this more in depth in the live and elsewhere. Out of nowhere on the New Heights YouTube channel, there was suddenly a review of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And in it, it was Jason Kelce's like, our friend Blake Lively. And they were talking about the movie and they were talking about the review. Well, it turns out, long story short, TMZ got it updated and it turned out it was a re-upload from last year. So this was something from back in the day. Like this was before the drama happened, right? It was re-uploaded for members only in March, and it's now been published for everybody else. But this was something that aired last year before the drama, correct?
Yeah. Yes. It looks like there's been a change within the New Heights podcast itself and their YouTube membership program. They announced yesterday on their post tab that they were going to be discontinuing the program. So all of the stuff that was essentially behind the paywall is going to be posted publicly for everybody. And that probably has something to do with their deal with Wondery, Amazon. It's $100 million podcast deal that was made last year, I believe. So, they own distribution. So I don't know why that choice was made, but
they made it.
Apparently. Yeah, one of the things behind the paywall is their film reviews, and it looks like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants one was the first episode that they did, based on what I could find.
We'll theorize why, if was that on purpose, but I want to just, for the beginning here, I want to really focus on the breaking, more, to me, kind of shocking story of all this. As this happened, and in the document you'll see there, Kim highlighted that Blake's Lively's reaction to Travis and Jason Kelce's podcast love. A source with knowledge tells TMZ Blake was pleasantly surprised by the comments, and she appreciated the kind words from the duo. Blake knows Sisterhood has a loyal fan following, which clearly includes the brothers, and it's one of her favorites too. The admiration from the brothers comes on the heels of Blake showing Taylor some affection, albeit subtle, when she liked the superstar's Instagram post on the eve of the Life of a Showgirl dropping last week. So that was the gist of the article, and they rehashed a lot, but there was this quote seemingly from a source with knowledge, i.e., Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively, someone in that camp, basically trying to jump.
Allegedly,
I'm assuming this is all my theory, but I assume someone on her camp jumped at the opportunity to use this for their benefit because it was suddenly like, oh gosh, wait, like even the album doesn't really fully call out Blake because it seems the album was written before the drama as well. And so it seems like Blake's team was kind of cleverly trying to use this of like, see, there's a lot of Taylor Swift fans like, oh, see, they are still friends. They don't get the real timeline of the Blake Lively drama, etc. But anyway, here's where things just really took a weird turn. This article, when we click it now, I've saved this page and I've opened it because the Google cache had it open for a little bit and you can see it. It exists, proof. It was a real article. Travis and Kelce gush over friend Blake Lively. In fact, we have another one. This was, I think this is Michelle screen capped her version, which even had a little bit more. A source with knowledge tells TMZ Blake was pleasantly surprised. This was the photo that was sort of there at the point, but now we're stuck because anytime I go to click it now, like this is, if I were to search this same web link, it's gone. Poof. Not only is it gone from TMZ, which it is, if you go to TMZ, it just clicks here to just Blake Lively topics. And even the metadata on the link disappears, which there's literally a link which you can see that I searched for, HTTP TMZ Blake Lively reaction to Travis Kelce podcast shout out. That was the link. You can look for it yourself. I put it on screen so you can type it out if you want. But this was completely wiped within like an hour. Now I want you to really, you might not think, well, whatever. Who could do that? Like, Tim, I called 3 of my tech friends, like, is that easy to do quickly? They're like, no. That is a pro either, law firm, PR agency, somebody big got in there and not only had TMZ remove it, which is shocking in itself because TMZ is like censoring articles for Blake. Why? Just update it like you did this one. Why would you completely remove it? It feels to me, Kim, that they're reactively, reacting to either Blake or perhaps Taylor herself to put the kibosh on that story. And I find that so sinister, if true. Now, I guess TMZ could have realized they made a mistake and that it was an old weapon and they should have corrected it. But typically TMZ won't delete a story fully. To me, to see this new article, and here's the page source I've been trying to get, to see, Blake responding and to go to the same quote, Blake was pleasantly surprised by the comments. Either Blake felt dumb, TMZ felt dumb, maybe, and they sort of just pulled the link. But even then, Kim, to wipe it from Google Cache, like that's a deeper layer that's blowing my mind. And that makes me personally, this is my objection, my theory. I think Taylor Swift did it. My theory here, and you can share yours because I know you believe it's more potentially either TMZ or Blake. Again, my speculation, my theory, tell me if I'm crazy. Who else would have that kind of pull in social media, on the Google, everywhere? Taylor Swift would. And her seeing Blake leaving comments to sort of reacting to it, that could have easily sent Tree or anybody on her team to be like, whoa. Harvey, kill that. That's not true. Get rid of that. That's an old podcast. Do not connect us to Blake. Stop. That's where my head went out. Now, Kim, I guess the other version of Blake Lively could have been embarrassed and realized, oh crap, we're trying to spin this into good press and now we look dumb because we're celebrating that this was there and it's an old fucking episode, which it took us 5 seconds to figure that out. Or TMZ messed up. But Kim, where do you go? Who do you think? I mean, I think Blake looks awful in this regardless, but do you think this was an orchestrated cover-up?
I don't know. I think it's possible that TMZ just made a mistake and they jumped on something very quickly and did not fully check everything. And I mean, to be clear, when that video got dropped last night, and I saw, I had notifications that went up like crazy, and I saw a lot of conversation on social media and people saying, oh, well, there it is. Now we know that they're friends again, because why would Travis say that on a podcast now? And I'm going why would he say that now? Because that doesn't really make a lot of sense considering what we know about the litigation. Just barring the idea of whether or not Taylor and Blake are friends right now, to openly talk about her while Taylor has been brought into this lawsuit, Travis to comment on this publicly would not be a wise decision, not on a podcast like this. It would be quite a statement. And it just didn't make sense to me. So I looked more into it and I found that, this is older. This is from October of last year. This isn't current. And it looks like they're just having the change in the membership structure. And that's why stuff's getting uploaded. As YouTubers, you only get a certain amount of notifications a day. You can only upload a certain amount of videos a day. If you want people to know about it, you got to space it out. You got to work it out with your new content as well. It's a logistical nightmare a lot of the time if you're trying to unprivate or unmembers only all of these videos. So to me, I kind of started to wonder, was it just a situation where TMZ jumped the gun? Essentially, they posted something they shouldn't have. They asked for a comment from a representative or somebody reached out and they published that. And then they realized, oh no, this is old. This isn't right. We got to take this down because it's not
so easy to check.
Yeah. But they realized they made a mistake and they, to their credit, they updated the other article and then they removed the one about Blake's reaction. But my question is, and this is where I get stuck. And again, we don't know who spoke on Blake's behalf. This could be nobody really who knows what they're talking about. I don't know. But clearly, Blake likely would have known that if they reviewed the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants and they gave her a shout out, she would have known they did that last year. Why would she comment on it now?
She doesn't seem paid much. Probably.
I don't think she would. I don't know.
I think she's paying a lot more close attention to Taylor and Travis than she was then. I think now that's all she has to do. That doesn't surprise me. She's so egotistical. I could see her getting lost and like, oh wait, Travis Kelce's podcast did that a year ago. No, now she's all about Taylor and everything else. And now that they're engaged, anyway. But yeah, maybe the theory. But I just want to recap this because we're running out of time. And we're going to delve. There's a lot more to go into, guys. But to me, and I put a poll out there. Yeah, 50% of you say Taylor pulled this off. Why the majority of you go 7% of you think Blake got it removed herself. But my problem is, Kim, I don't think she has that kind of pull anymore. I just don't. I know TMZ and Blake are in bed together. They're cahoots. TMZ's done a lot of stuff for Blake, allegedly. They knew about my subpoena before me.
Yeah.
We know that's factual. So it's like, how on earth did they get that information if it wasn't from Blake who filed it? So to me, Blake and TMZ are in cahoots. So there's a version where I guess Blake could have said, TMZ, stop. Actually, this looks bad. But even then, why would TMZ risk censoring an article? That's a big deal to remove it. Like they could update it and be like, it's still a comment from Blake. And because you could easily edit that to say, oh, she was happy, but turns out it was an old episode, but still it's a link. We would have kept it. It's not like it's wrong. Mm-hmm. It's a quote by Blake that, she's reacting to. So to me, she has egg on her face. That's to me, the better excuse Blake pulled it, or Taylor is the biggest mastermind in the world, Kim. Love her or hate her. And I do love her. The album is good. I like the album. I do see some backlash brewing, and it is what it is. You can't cancel Taylor Swift; she'll go on forever.
It's not going to work.
But I think one criticism I could give is she is seemingly like a very positive mafia boss. Like it does feel like she has that kind of sway. Not that many celebrities can pull that off with their audience and make them do their ways. And I'm not saying it's for nefarious reasons. I don't think, but for press reasons, yes, she can get stuff shut down like that if she chooses to. So again, speculative. I don't know if that's who pulled this off, but it's gone. It is wiped within like an hour. And I'm telling you, that's harder to do, to get it from the caches and everything that quickly. Means someone was really going in there to get it out of all these places. Now, there's a few little lingering spots that are still, you can see proof of it. There's like 2 tweets. And I'm documenting all this just because I want to see later, keep the proof. Does this get wiped? Or will we make enough of a stir that they can't wipe it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about next.
The Daily Mail also did reference it in an article that they very recently put out. I've got that all archived.
Here, we have it arbefed now. Yep. But here's the Daily Mail.
And they referenced that it came from TMZ. So, I mean, this absolutely existed before anybody's like, calling that. It happened.
It happened. So I'm curious what you guys think. This doesn't surprise me at all. And it's just so weird because I don't think Justin pulled this one. Like, I don't think Justin, it just shows both sides. For sure, at least Blake's side is absolutely out there doing a smear campaign or just a rehabilitation campaign. That's what all press does. And to see that they're able to shut TMZ down with a story like
allegedly.
That just reeks of just power and manipulation on a level that it's very important we spotlight. Perhaps TMZ took the L and made a mistake. It is that's why we're telling you it could have been that too. But I still am shocked they would remove a comment from Blake's sources without actually, hearing from Blake directly or someone above Blake. And who else would do it but Taylor? Those to me. Is there anybody else I'm missing? Is there anybody else you think? I want to see what the chat. We're just starting our live. We got so much more to break down, so don't go anywhere. But I wanted to recap this at the start of the show in case some of these links get closed by accident or a power outage. You've seen the proof. You can see it exists. And are you weirded out as I am?